Welcome. Before we get started, I want to apologize for the voice quality and pronunciation. I hardly ever speak English and I wasn't feeling well while recording. Plus, my Android recording software is pure garbage. Alright, for this matchup, I'll be using Master Chief with his standard gear only. No backup from the UNSC, no vehicles, nothing fancy, just the usual weapons and equipment you'd expect him to have on the battlefield. Cortana will be assisting him, of course. As for the Baron, I'm going to use the Fireborn Barons from Doom Eternal, not the armored versions from the Ancient Gods. Those guys are just too overpowered and frankly broken for a fair fight. Now, before we get into the actual breakdown, I want to quickly mention that I scale characters based on consistency, not wild outliers. I try to stay grounded with my comparisons, so with that out of the way, let's jump in. Halo's got tons of recurring feats, so for the sake of time, I'll just focus on the few solid ones. Everyone knows Chief survived a fall from orbit, but funnily enough, that's not his best durability feat. That particular feat is only around wow to small building level, about 0.1 tons of TNT. Spartans in upgraded armor can actually tank more damage from component weapons, plus with the Spartan charge, they can smash through boulders. Estimated at 2.6 gigajoules or 0.64 tons of TNT, which puts it at building level. It's tough to push the durability much higher than that, but they do consistently survive large blasts and attack that would completely one-shot component soldiers. One example, a Spartan tanked a Forerunner monitor beam, something that vaporized a hunter. Some might call that an outlier, but honestly with how much punishment the Spartans take is believable. Though it would still leave them badly injured. I couldn't find a specific calculation for that, but it should at least hit large building level or around 2 tons of TNT. That's in line with another feat from Halo 2, where Master Chief survived a small portion of a large nuke. The part that he took would roughly be around 2 tons of TNT, again placing him at large building level and making this meta a bit consistent. And no, Chief doesn't scale to city level just because of the composer feat in Halo 4. I won't get deep into that here, but I'll leave a link under the video that explains why. Long story short, Spartans get vaporized by Water Eternal, who's only around city block level, so the scaling doesn't check out. Speed is pretty straightforward. Spartans can consistently dodge bullets and component weaponry, putting them at supersonic levels. They can do that because they see the world as slow motion, an ability they call the Spartan time, but they can go even higher. At one point, a Spartan dodged a beam rifle projectile from a few meters away. That's easily an hypersonic feat, and that's consistent with the less than 4 millisecond reaction time. But Chief can push beyond that speed in extremely stressful situations, usually with Cortana's help. So hypersonic is a safe baseline, and for those who think Chief or any other Spartans can dodge lasers or light-based attacks, sorry to break it to you, but in any canon Halo lore, they never dodged an actual light-speed attack after it's been fired. And aim dodging isn't the same thing, plus a lot of Spartans has lost their lives to component bullets, which are nearly a million times slower than light, so their theory of them being faster than light just falls apart. And for running speed, Spartan can sprint around 45 miles per hour with their latest mineral suits. This was always debated. Some fans massively overhype it, others try to downplay it. I'm going to take the middle ground and stick with consistent feats. So 5 tons is the lowball here, as Spartan Cal deadlifted that much. But that's not the upper limit. In Halo 2, Chief dragged a 95-ton warhead. Dragging doesn't equal lifting, but assuming the frictional coefficient was between 0.2 and 0.3, his lifting strength would be somewhere around 19 to 28.5 tons, so almost 30 tons. And this aligns with other feats too. Spartans have been shown to be capable of flipping tanks that weighs around 66 tons. Obviously, you don't need the full force to flip something, but even then you at least need to lift half of the weight, so around 33 tons of lifting strength. Therefore, 30 plus tons is a safe baseline for Spartans. Now,
If we go with the absolute high end, in Fall of Rich Nobel, Chief once lifted a boulder, which is estimated to be around 120 tons. But there are a few problems with this feat. Firstly, it is written by an author known for overhyping Halo, and it is clearly an outlier. But most importantly, Chief injured himself while he tried to lift it. Therefore, I don't consider this his baseline strength, as him injuring himself in the battlefield will work against him. But I would include it as a last-ditch feat, something he could do in a life or death movement, tapping into his human historical strength boost, especially with Cortana's help, which even works with real-life humans in a fight or flight scenario. So in that kind of dispatch situation, he might be able to lift up to 120 tons, but only for a brief moment. Chief's standard gear includes handguns, shotguns, rifles, grenades. You know the drill. We all played Halo. On the battlefield, he can also pick up energy shields, rocket launchers, and other gear if he's flying around. He's got thruster packs for better mobility and active camouflage that makes him invisible for short bursts. Now onto the Barons. Barons are among the most elite demons and true champions of Hell. They serve as the personal bodyguards and gladiators for a Dark Lord of the Fourth Age. Unlike in Halo, where there's an abundance of feats to draw from, Doom demons don't have as many. However, we know they consistently scale against one another through their constant battles. Just as I used feats from various Spartans to scale Master Chief, I'll be drawing on feats from different demons to establish the Barons level. Keep in mind that the demons evolve over time. Fireborn Barons are superior to the Doom 2016 Barons and the OG Barons, but they are still weaker compared to Armored Barons. Barons are classified as super heavy demons, making them significantly more powerful than the heavy demons. For example, heavy demons have repeatedly been shown to smash through walls and stone structures, feats that put them at building to large building level. Take the Mancubus for example. When it shattered a wall, the energy is calculated to be around 1 ton of TNT, or almost large building level. There are at least 5 such feats consistently demonstrated by heavy demons. Even the fodder demons like the zombified soldiers can do this. But the most impressive display of durability is seen when the Barons and the other super heavy demons survive a point-blank shot from the BFG 9000. This weapon is even more potent than the 2 Kelvin lasers used by the USC, delivering damage equivalent to 134 tons of TNT or multi-city block level. It gets even more impressive. This same shot was powerful enough to vaporize the brain of the Spider Mastermind, a demon revered as a god. In another instance, it obliterated a giant tentacle, representing 173 tons of TNT, again at multi-city block level. This is pretty consistent. Now, I could highball the Baron to moon level. I can do this based on the logic that they should scale to the BFG 10,000, which uses the BFG 9000 as its power source. And BFG 10,000 can literally blow holes through planets. But just like I discarded the city level scaling of Master Chief, I am also going to discard the moon level scaling of the Barons, because I don't use absurd highballs. Barons are much faster than Imps and Hell Knights, both due to their status and physical build. For context, demons like the Imps can dodge bullets. Considering bullets from a chain gun travel at about 5000 feet per second, roughly Mach 4.5, Imps are clearly in the supersonic plus range, nearly hypersonic or Mach 5. Since Barons are at least 2 steps above, it's logical to upscale them from that, placing them in the hypersonic ranges. While one might argue that as super heavy demons, they should also scale to the Marauders, who can block laser-based weapons such as the Unmaker, which would put them at faster than light. But there isn't any solid evidence that the Barons' reflexes scale to the Marauders, so I am discarding that assumption. Additionally, the OG Barons can keep up with the OG Doomguy's jogging speed, which is 57 miles per hour, so the Fireborns are definitely faster than that. In the Doom universe, the most basic demon is the Lost Soul. which is literally a floating head that's canonically even weaker than an imp. And I am not just making this up. Here's the source. These lost souls can rip a human head off while the spinal cord is still attached, a feat calculated at around 1 million newtons, or approximately 102 tons of lifting strength. Now, while that might seem like an outlier because a lost soul doesn't have hands and seems pretty weak, it turns out this feat is actually quite consistent. Imps, for instance, can tear a human arm off at the shoulder joint with their grip strength, requiring around 20 tons of grip strength for one arm or 40 tons for both. Given that lifting strength is typically 3 to 5 times a creature's grip strength, we estimate the imps with at least 120 to 200 tons of lifting strength. In fact, 120 tons is greater than 102 tons, shows that imps are indeed stronger than the lost souls, which fits perfectly within the lore. Since imps are considered lower ranking and weaker than Hell Knights, and the Barons are generally twice as strong as Hell Knights, so their lift strength scales up to somewhere between 240 to 400 tons. Barons are not just about raw strength and durability. They will charge at you with superhuman speed, hurl fireballs that are imbued with hell essence, capable of destroying both body and soul, and swing their fiery blades that will slice you in half. The potency of these blades scales directly with their durability, making them incredibly dangerous in close quarter combat. Now, how would a fight between these two titans play out? Let's see. Hell is out by space, time, or even dimensions. Upon discovering the existence of the Halo universe, the Dark Lord of the Fourth Age dispatches one of his strongest champions, the Marked One, a fearsome fireborn baron who has loyally served him for centuries. He has got a scar in his left eye, which he got while fighting a cyber demon, and his mission? Eliminate the Master Chief, retrieve his remains, and deliver them to the Dark Lord, who plays to dissect humanity's greatest warrior and forge a new breed of demon hybrid super soldiers, unstoppable weapons to finally defeat the Doomslayer himself. Meanwhile, Master Chief is on a solo mission to a remote, uncharted planet, investigating disturbing signals and unexplained terrain corruption. Hell's presence has taken root, and due to the massive interference, the UNSC is unable to contact or assist him. He is completely cut off. No reinforcement. Suddenly, when he enters an enclosed area, the arena locks down so that he can't leave. So he fell into a trap. A red portal appears beside him, flames spill out, and from it emerges the Marked One. The duel is about to begin. With mere moments to analyze, Cortana quickly scans the target and reports to Chief. Based on muscle density and abnormal space-time signatures, he's not from this universe, and he's unfathomably stronger. Close quarters engagement is strongly discouraged. Without hesitation, Master Chief opens fire with his MA5 assault rifle, but the bullets harmlessly ricochet off the Baron's thick skin. As the towering demon begins a thunderous sprint toward him, Chief ditches the rifle and pulls out his M6D Magnum, aiming for the eyes while sprinting backward. The shots don't injure the Baron, but they do slightly slow his advance. The magazine clicks empty. Chief doesn't reload. He grabs a nearby bullpup shotgun and continues firing with circling the enemy. The Baron snarls, visibly irritated, and slams the guard with such force that a shockwave rips through the area. He lunges to grab Chief, but Chief ignites his thrusters, narrowly blasting out of reach and scaling to a higher ground. While mid-climb, a fireball slams into him, damaging his thrusters, but he manages to reach the ledge. The Baron leaps up after him, landing at a dead end, no sign of the Spartan. Then he notices them at his feet, 3 grenades, all blinking red. They explode before he can react. The blast doesn't injure him, but it staggers him for a brief moment. That's all Chief needed. He decocks from his active camouflage, silently standing beside the disoriented demon with an energy sword in hand. With all his strength and precision, Chief drives the blade straight into the Baron's chest, aiming for the heart. To his shock, it sinks only a few centimeters. Impossible. Energy swords were supposed to cut through anything. The Baron turns, unbothered. With one of his massive hands, he grabs Chief, yanks out the sword, and raises it, ready to drive it straight into the Spartan. The Baron's grip is almost twice as powerful as Chief's full physical strength. He squeezes with monstrous force, lifting him off the ground, while simultaneously diving the stolen energy sword downward. Cortana's voice casts through the chaos, cold, clinical, and horrified. Survival probability 0.69%. In that split second, Chief's neural system floods with emergency adrenaline. Muscle surge beyond normal capacity, unlocking a state of hysterical strength. For just a few seconds, he's nearly 3 times stronger. It's enough. With a guttural roar, Chief forces himself free from the Baron's crushing grip and kicks the demon's other arm, knocking the sword over the ledge. The Baron reels in shock. No one had ever broken free before. A weakened, gasping Chief stumbles back. His foot hits metal, an S7 sniper. Without hesitation, he grabs it and unloads all 4 rounds straight into the exposed wound near the Baron's chest, hoping that it might penetrate the heart. But it doesn't matter. The Baron's superhuman pain tolerance renders the shots meaningless. The rounds don't reach deep enough. The beast growls in rage, not pain. Chip leaps from the ledge, landing hard near a M41 rocket launcher. He grabs it, spins, and fires midair as the Banos drive down after him. The rocket hits dead on, pushing the demon back mid-descent in a cloud of fire and smoke. But it's not over. The smoke clears, the Baron lunges through the fire, smashing down with earth-shattering force. Chip evades, but the shockwave knocks him off balance. His shields flash red. Warning tones blare in his helmet. The Baron charges with terrifying speed. This time, he grabs Chip with both hands, one clamped around his throat, the other crushing his torso. Cortana watches helplessly. She knows what's about to happen. In those final moments, Chip's mind flashes to his squad blue team, wishing, just once, that he hadn't been alone. The Baron growls. Then, snap! A brutal 180-degree twist. Master Chief goes limp. Cortana's voice breaks. The battle is over. Chief fought harder, longer, and smarter than any Spartan could ever had. He made the Baron work for its victory. Despite his experience, his will, his legacy, how could one man defeat a literal hellspawn? A being nearly 10 times stronger and 90 times more durable than him. He couldn't.
Are you sure?